how do you find a book for a person? That thing where you said, what is the mentality you have right now? And then I'm going to find you a book.
Oh, okay.
What was that about?
Yeah, that was it's connecting. Where we all know the role of reading in our lives, and finding this existential essence of man. You are in a situation in which you probably need to talk to someone, a parent or a teacher or a friend or a book. You can be in a moment in which you need to reflect upon something. And what I normally see, since I love philosophy and I've read many of the philosophy books out there, I say, well, I'm normally quoting philosophers. And when I'm talking to someone and the conversation goes towards a point in which I can use one of my phrases that I know, it's going to bring a moment of reflection for the situation or the predicament the person is in, I go there and put it. And if the person reacts to it and says, well, that's interesting, I never see it this way, or that's exactly what's happening to me, or what is that supposed to mean, then you go with, well, there is a philosopher, there's a writer that has written about this and has possibly found a solution for how to deal with a situation like this. And it says like this.
And you got one little paragraph.
I got one little. First I have a quote, and then I have a little paragraph of explanation. And if that clinches in, if that touches the person is going to say, I want to read that. And then I go, boom, there you go, the book. And by the way, we're going to have a debate when you finish, because I want to learn from you too, of how you have related to the book and how, and so that puts them in the commitment sense. I'll read it because we're going to talk about it. Then the person starts to feel important, starts to feel responsible, because the person by himself is looking for the possible answers, and you get someone reading a book, and that person might have never read a whole book. Now that person is reading that book, but that book is going to create lots of suggestions and connections, and this is interesting, and you might, with a simple quote, not only change the life of an individual, but turn it into an engine of learning.
The part I like,
let's go back to what happened there. All you did was to create the motivation based on what the person is already experiencing. Put those two things together, and the spark was there. The fire happened.
You did it because this is why you need an experienced teacher, because not necessarily in the classroom, but someone who's read a lot or experienced a lot or has very specific ones and is able to ask questions. Hey, Mario, I got this person who's really wants to be an entrepreneur. Do you know any good books about that?
I remember
because I don't know any entrepreneur books.
I remember I was asked by a teacher to hold a class for 5 minutes. And the class was being so disruptive that I think the other teachers just wanted to take a 5 minute out.
Right.
And when the person came in, you could hear a pen drop in there. And I said, what did you do? I said, well, I was telling them when I crossed the Mexican border to come into the United States. And the teacher said, did you do that? I said, yes, I did. He said, how was that? Tell me. And I said, that is exactly what happened to them. If you have something interesting to say, they will shut up. So and those are things you learn. It's how you're going to manage that group of people.
That means you did not spend time on the lesson plan and the curriculum. Oh my goodness! Where in the curriculum is this?
They are learning something. They are learning something. They might later read a small book with experiences of that. You might also speak about immigration laws while you're saying that. And they are learning something, real life facts. That some people cross, and why do they do it? What's the treatment when they get here? What's the difference for immigration purposes between a Cuban and a Mexican? Why are those two things different? What are the political implications of it? Isn't that important? That's a whole book, and they're learning it right there. And they say, "Tell us more. Tell us another story. What else have you done?" And I say, "Is it so difficult to relate to students? You have life experience like they do. Let's put those things together. Now, when you come the next day, I bet if you tell them, guys, today it's about class. Today we're going to do what we're supposed to do here.
We get that out of the way, and then we'll have 20 minutes.
Because then we'll have this thing. Okay, Mr. Mario, we'll do it. And there you go. That's how you start to relate with them. Now they want to be your friends. And you know for what reason for? Because they have found someone who resembles themselves.
And a human being. It looks like a human. It's not a robot.
Oh, the guy's human. Look what things he's done. This guy can drink coffee, can smoke, can cross a border, can do this. Oh, he's human. It's not a robot like my other teachers. So it's that opening up. It's, create the environment, and then create the empathy. Find what they need, find what they know, put it in practice, find the right content, adjust it correctly, forget about time, give it to them. You'll have friends, you'll have people willing to be better, you'll have knowledge and learning happening. It's all there, it's all the ingredients are there to masterfully teach someone.
I've told Uger that